Yep.
All right, so the first thing you want to do is open up your pack of chicken here. I like to get one big bowl so I can season it. You can just go through the whole thing. You don't have to cut. Just keep going. All right, a couple seasonings: onion powder, garlic powder, pork rub, lemon pepper. God, I should have chicken rub around here somewhere. Chicken rub. And yep, that'll be your seasonings that you use. So I like to throw in each one at a time. So yeah, it's five seasonings: lemon pepper, garlic powder, chicken rub, pork rub, and onion powder. Make sure that you try not to touch both. Use one hand that you're going to use for the chicken, and the rest for your seasonings, or wash your hands in between. I'm just going to wash my hands in between for cross-contamination purposes. So I like to kind of spread it out in the bowl there. Make it where you can hit each part of the chicken. Come a little bit more overhead. Look at the chicken. There you go. Alright, let me wash my hands. Alright, so after you wash your hands, you want to go over and start your seasoning. Garlic powder is what I usually start with. You can be generous. You're gonna do both sides. Lemon pepper, like a generous amount of this as well. They both have 0 to no salt. This one has only 90 milligrams, and the garlic powder has no. It's just garlic. The pork rub is whenever you start to get a little bit saltier, 140 grams. So you don't want to go too much on this one here, but you want to go just enough. Your chicken rub is going to be your majority of your flavor, but this one also has 200 milligrams of salt, so make sure that you don't over season this one. But this is going to be the majority of what you season. So after you look at your bowl, it should look something like this. All right, so then we're just going to mix it around here. Make sure that you evenly distribute the chicken all around. You don't have to go super crazy on the seasoning, but as long as it has a little bit of color like this, it's fine. And then we're gonna go one more coat of seasoning on top of this. So basically everything that you just did, we'll do it on the opposite side. About half as much though this time, since we've already seasoned one. Use the rest of this garlic powder. Lemon pepper. Pork rub. Chicken rub, and I didn't even put any onion powder on there, so we'll do that on the other side. Chicken rub, just a little bit there. And then onion powder. Onion powder you can be generous with as well. Those aren't really salty agents. Those all they do is really just bring out some of that chicken flavor. Mix it all around. And your chicken should look something like this after it's done. Like a nice little coating of seasoning on there. Doesn't have to be too crazy. Alright. So after that, go ahead and wash your hands again, because we're about to get into the next part, which is our topping. I like to get like a bowl about this size here. It's probably like 5, maybe like 10 cups. Probably say maybe like 10 cups in this whole thing. You want to get your mayo. For this recipe, it calls for 1 cup of mayo. Let's see if we already have any in here before we get into the new one. A couple of different ones. Kind of like to use what we already have because you know it's going to go bad at some point. So we'll use this one here. Measure out 1 cup. So we're gonna go 1 cup. It's gonna be this full thing here. I'm just doing the difference over here because I already know I'm gonna have to move it over here anyways. There we go. So it's about a cup of your mayo there. I usually utilize like a spatula like this. It always helps out getting everything that's left over in anything, as you can see in there. Spatula really helps out a lot. In here, we're gonna put a couple of seasonings first. You got a little onion powder, just a little sprinkle. Everything that you really put on top is gonna go in here, but in a very small quantity. You got the chicken rub, lemon pepper, pork rub, and then a whole pack of ranch seasoning. Looks like we got spicy here. You can do regular or spicy, whichever one you like. It's in a bag. Whole pack of that seasoning goes in. I usually get like a whisk, something like that, so you can evenly distribute the ranch seasoning all over. Oh, and by the way, go ahead and preheat that oven to 425 before you even get started with any of this. So once we got the mayo, all that mixed in there, we're gonna add some garlic. For this one, I'd probably do about 2 tablespoons. If you don't have, for some reason you don't have a tablespoon present, you can honestly just use a regular spoon. These are tablespoons, these are teaspoons. You can just do 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon, but we're just gonna do 2 tablespoons. So just kind of cover it up like this. This is 1 tablespoon. And then a 2nd tablespoon. All right, so like that, we're gonna go ahead and mix that garlic in there. The next thing we're gonna add in is a cup of cheddar cheese. Use the rest of this one, which is about, looks like it's about half a cup. I'll go ahead and pour that in there. That's more like a third of a cup there. So we're gonna do about 2/3 of the cheddar cheese. I like to usually do the whole milk one, but this sometimes it doesn't melt as well. But a cup of cheddar cheese, you can measure that out. I won't measure that out for you today, but it looks something like that. Alright, so after you got all that mixed together, we're going to start making, and this is going to be the top for our chicken. Alright, tooth hurts?
Yes, very bad.
We'll help y'all out with something else today. If you ever have toothache, take a little salt water. Warm salt water for your tooth. That'll help out. Just want to dissolve that salt. It's going to be real salty, but go ahead and just don't swallow it. Just put it in your mouth, wash it around for about 20 seconds. And spit that out. Old slave trick. And we'll do that one more time. So in the meantime, while you have all that ready, you want to spray a baking sheet down. That's going to be your base here. I usually use just like a canola oil, 0 calorie. And you're going to place this chicken on here straight. After this has been sitting for a little bit of time, it should get a little bit together like this, pretty thick. You can move over to using a spoon. All right, here we're gonna spread our chicken out here. All these little parts of the chicken like this, you kind of want to go ahead and open those up so you do evenly before you spread. Before you put it out. So you'll put it flat like this and you roll it straight over and kind of press it down a bit. The reason why you press it down, it allows for equal distribution of the heat. So we don't have a bunch of meat that's kind of just like rolled up there. You want it all the way flat. Just like that there. You can inspect your meat, any bones or anything that may get stuck, because you want to use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Any bones that are like stuck in there, you know, it's never perfect, so you just want to make sure that you inspect it before you get in there. This is me kind of like taking this bone out, and a piece of fat here. If you listen hard, that's a bone there. All the chicken, like I said, flatten it out and then fold it over. You want to have so there's two sides to a chicken thigh. You have like the rough side, which is the bottom, and then the flat side, which is the top. What you're going to want is to always expose that flat side up, because that's going to give you the most surface area to work with when we spread this over top. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's flat. These smaller guys, you may even want to leave them flat sometimes, but for this sakes here, we're just gonna fold over kind of half of it there, half of it, just so you can have a nice little top into there. In the boneless skinless pack, you usually get 8, so just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're about to cook, that you're probably gonna have enough for, you know, 8 people if they don't eat much. If you do eat a lot, then you might need another extra pack, especially if they're small, kind of like these. You might need 2 a person. So yeah, it's a good little season on that. That's what you kind of want to see. Once it's flat there, we got each one of these flattened out. These little pieces, I always throw them on there They're just kind of like taster pieces that make sure your chicken tastes good after. So you don't have to cut into a whole thing. We're gonna wash our hands again, because we're about to go to the spreading portion. All right, so now for spreading, what I like to do is take 1 spoonful and put it on each one. After that, you can kind of move around to see how much more needs to go here and there. Don't kick him if you just kicked him. Don't kick him.
I don't know. I pushed him with my leg.
Yeah. All right, so when you go there, about a scoop each. These bigger pieces, you are going to have a little bit more. If you have a little bit left over, you can kind of see the majority of where it needs to go. You want kind of like an even distribution. These big pieces can get a little bit more. And after you get it out of the top, you just kind of want to flatten it out pretty well with the spoon. Don't press too hard. I know a lot of y'all think you're, you know, Superman and stuff. A lot of this isn't about strength, it's about technique. If you have too much in one spot, you can pick it up and put it elsewhere, like this one here. We'll move some this way to the bigger piece here. And you want to make sure that the majority of it's on top. Each one of these are spread out. Just like the smallest touch on the top is going to make the top move. So you just want to make sure you don't have too much strength there. You can put these on like those filler pieces. And I like having these things, I call these taste testers, so you know kind of what it's going to taste like. So you don't have to open up a whole one there. Our last thing is going to be our panko. We'll throw that on top. And I'll see if we had any.
Oh.
Always double check. Make sure you don't open up something new if you don't have any. I like putting just like a small little hole on the side there. And you just pour it on top. You can get a good little amount on there. If it rolls over, it's a-okay. Alright, so after you're here, you're going to want to take a spoon, probably the same one that you already had, and just kind of press lightly. Well, make sure that that spoon is clean, because you don't want to stick any of the extra breadcrumbs to the bottom. You just kind of want to just pat down on these. That's going to make sure that all this stays, and it's going to give you a nice good crust. You can have like a little firm pat here, but again, not all about strength here. And this is also spreading out that mixture on top. After we have every single one, cut it down. I forgot we had a couple little tasters at the bottom there. Just throw a little bit of breadcrumb on those. Cool. So after we're here, we're gonna throw these. A little bit of oil on top of here. I mean, just a light little spritz. And that's gonna go into the oven at 425. I'd probably say 15-20 minutes, but what you want to get yourself is a thermometer here. As soon as that hits 165, it is good to come out. And then your biggest piece wants to hit 165. Usually, if your biggest piece is at 165, the majority of your other ones are already done. If they go a little bit over, it's a-okay. They usually all finish around the same time, but the bigger pieces do take a little bit longer. Top rack, 165 for about 20-25 minutes. We'll check back with you. We'll check back with you in about 20 minutes.